Hi, folks. This is Dr. Rob Cywes. I am the CarbAddictionDoc, and I am a clinically active, clinically practicing doctor working in the carbohydrate addiction, ketogenic space, but also I'm a bariatric surgeon. I'm not going to talk about the surgical side today, but we see a large number of patients who are experts at failing weight loss programs. They come in, they've tried everything. They may have lost a little bit of weight, but they gain the weight back. And they come to us for help, having seen some of these videos or heard something a little bit about what we do, and they want to understand the addiction approach to carbohydrates. And today I'm going to focus on what I believe to be critical component that defines the difference between success and failure. And one of the critical things that defines the difference between success and failure is having a tribe, having a clan, having a support group. That team, that group of people you surround yourself with is so critically important, especially at the beginning, when you know you can't trust yourself. And there really are three components that we're looking for your tribe from, maybe four. The first component, and it's always valuable, is to have someone who is an experienced expert professionally in this field. And that's what we offer. I give you the insights in our first discussion, and the first discussion is always an eye-opener when it comes to understanding and being introspective of yourself in terms of, oh my God, I didn't realize that. If you're defensive, if you're that person that says, no, I'm not that person, but you're 400 pounds. Yeah, but I just eat a little bit. Okay. I hardly eat, but I'm 400 pounds. Yeah. That's like the alcoholic being stopped and being snot flying drunk and saying, well, I just had one beer. Okay. No insight. And that person really shouldn't come in unless they're willing to be humble and listen to what we have to say. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is the support we offer from a tribal perspective, from an accountability partner perspective, from an ear and a shoulder to lean on and to listen to. And while I do the introduction to that, I'm there to support from a medical perspective. We have Jane in my office, who's our nutrition specialist, and she is absolutely superb at giving you nutritional guidance. That's her wheelhouse, but she also runs a support group. And that support group up front, for a number of people who are entering into this lifestyle and need that collaborative support, whether they're not getting that support around from their home, they don't have people, they're afraid to ask people to be that support, or they're getting obstructionism from the people around them. Jane's support group is a safe haven. It's a place you can go where everybody is like-minded and there to help you to grow. It is our AA support group. And if you think about AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, good, bad, ugly, I don't care what your opinion is, AA has helped millions of people throughout the world. That group, that organization, that camaraderie, that support has helped so many people, not on good days, but on tough, dark, difficult days. And that's what our support group is. So if you're interested in a support group, remember there's 4 parts to this. The first one is professional support. And that's us. The other place you can get professional support is from a therapist. But what's interesting about the people around you, what's interesting about the clan, whether it's a therapist that you're paying for, or whether it is a friend or a family member, ultimately it's about the fourth component, as we see it, of an empathetic human connection. Of an effort-based emotion management system, which is empathetic human connection. An empathetic human connection, and this is going to be the most important sentence of this entire talk, empathetic human connection is trusting somebody to the point that you know they will not be judgmental or critical of you, even if they say things that may sting. They will not be judgmental or critical, and trusting them to the point that you are able to take the risk of being vulnerable about things that you may be ashamed of, about things that you're insecure about. But for the most part, we're not capable of trusting somebody, including trusting ourselves. And we don't take that risk. And then we keep all those shameful things inside and they fester, and we need sugar and starch to shut them up and to deal with them. So the fourth but critically important pillar of an effort-based emotion management system, which we're trying to build to dig ourselves out of the hole of addiction, is an empathetic human connection. And again, implicit trust in somebody that they will not be judgmental or critical, and then you taking the risk of being vulnerable within that relationship. And whether that's a friend, whether that's a family member, whether that is a therapist or a sponsor or Jane in our office or the people in that group, that's what you want. You need that support. Because they give you, that support will give you opinions and insights into yourself that is not critical or judgmental, but is insightful. And it may sting a little bit when you hear something about yourself that you weren't ready to acknowledge to yourself. But that's the value. This is a journey of introspective exploration of who you are and how you got to be who you were, which is that fat diabetic person. And it's tough. But a clan, a group, a tribe is there for insights that you're not able to have yourself. They're there to remind you of certain things. They're not there to control your life. That's your job. They're not there to monitor you. They're there to support you, either by doing it themselves with you and embracing this, and when you're weak, they're strong, and when they're strong, you're weak, but walking this journey together. Or even if they're not following the same lifestyle, as a support group by not having the crap in the environment. It's absolutely ridiculous to say, hey, Johnny, that ice cream in the fridge, that's my ice cream, don't eat it. There's ice cream in my fridge tonight. I guarantee you I'm eating it. But I also know, because my wife doesn't allow it into the house, there is no ice cream in my house. Because I know, I've looked. I'm 22 years in. So the first pillar is the therapist. Jane offers that as a support group, and that support group is not there to hold your hand and say, it's okay, you just had a little bit, you're fine, it wasn't a lot, the calories are low, it's still keto. Bullshit. It's hard work in that group. It's hard work because you're confronting your own reality. But with the strength of those numbers, with the strength of that support, that's what these videos are about, that's what Jane is about, that's what her group is about. And if you want to connect with Jane, if you want to be part of that support group, text 561-517-0642 and just text to say that you want to join one of Jane's groups. They're virtual. They're by Zoom or by phone call. So you don't have to show up. But connect with her and see if there's some interest in the group. That's the first one. The second group of people that are part of your tribe, part of your support system, and you don't have to have this, but it's so useful if you do. If you have someone that lives with you, a husband, a wife, a father, a son, a daughter, a wife, anybody that lives in the home with you, if you rent space together, if the two of you or the group of you decide to follow a low carbohydrate, non-snacking way of life, and you clean up your environment and you're there to support each other in a planned eating manner, changing toward a ketogenic or a keto carnivore way of life, however you want to set it up, but where everybody's doing the same. You know how difficult it is to quit smoking crack if you live in a crack house? Almost impossible. Difficult to quit smoking if everybody else is smoking. Is it doable? Sure. Are there people that have done it? Sure. But so much more difficult. So if you've got that clan of support of people that are all doing it together, I've got these families from young kids to parents to grandparents who are all doing this. And what's so cool is my people from second and third world countries where the extended family is still a very valued and recognized family system, which is broken down in our first world system. We're now more nuclear families. But the extended families, when they're all on board, those folks do so well because they're there to support each other. And you support each other, not just in a ketogenic, low carbohydrate way of life, but you also support each other. Let's go for a walk tonight. Let's play a game of cards instead of watching TV. Let's build a puzzle together. Let's all go swim tonight. The cool part is, even if you don't want to go for the walk, and you're not going to go for the walk by yourself, when your partner, when your tribe member is going for that walk and they say, let's go, you go. And you know what? You'll never regret it. When you come back from that walk, you will never regret that you went. But you'll come up with every reason not to go. So the support is there when they're doing it with you. The third level of support is where you respect somebody else and you know that they know what you're doing. So one of the things for me, and it's always funny, when I go back to Jacksonville, I've got tens of thousands of patients because we were up there for 20 years. They're all over the population. And even if they haven't seen me for a long time, it is almost never that I go to a restaurant where I'm eating food and some pair of eyes isn't looking over my shoulders to see what the doc is eating. And not that I do, but there's no way on God's earth I'm going to have something on my plate or near me that shouldn't be there. And that's just a tribal support system that is loosely woven. It's in that community, it's in that environment where people are aware of who you are and they watch what you do. And there's no way I'm going to give myself permission to even have bread on my table at a restaurant because of that awareness. But that awareness can come even closer home, even if somebody's not interested in being on a ketogenic diet. If they are there to help you and support you in this journey, colleagues at work, co-workers, and it's not about don't eat this. It's about having a colleague not make you a cake for your birthday, but maybe bring you some flowers or writing a card. When the rep delivers a 12-pack of donuts, that colleague should not try to offer you one. Oh, just have a pinch, just have a taste. And it is incumbent upon you to educate them. They don't know. They know that the fat person loves sugar and starch. Fat people love their donuts. I mean, virtually. So they're always trying to make that person happy by giving them crystal meth. Hey, Bob, I'm going outside for a cigarette. Do you want to join me? They're not going to say that to a non-smoker. But they're going to say that to the smoker, and the smoker's probably going to go outside and join them. Same thing with people eating sugar and starch. They're going to offer it to you because you're the fat guy, you're the diabetic. And just a pinch, just a taste is absolutely fine. At least in the diet world, it's not fine in the addiction world. So it is incumbent upon you that you set the standard and in that workplace and have that serious conversation. Yes, it's tough. Yes, it's difficult. But leverage who you are. Say, look, guys, I'm doing this diet as an addict. And if I was an alcoholic, would you offer me a light beer? But have that conversation. It's empowering to you, but it also builds your tribe. It builds your clan. It builds your support system. Can you have the expectation that everyone's going to help you? No. But if you set it up, if you take charge of the situation, they most likely are going to be there for you. So set that up. And then the fourth person that should not be part of your tribe, that fourth person is the person that is going to sabotage you. And it might be a wife, a husband, it might be a child, it might be a colleague or a coworker. And what you want to be able to do is to recognize that this person does not have your interest at heart and separate yourself from them. Separate yourself from them. They are not part of your tribe. They're a hostile. Don't be nasty to them. But set boundaries where those hostiles don't come into your environment. But never, ever, ever buy or cook food for a hostile. Oh, I've got to cook the rice for my family. We're Cuban or we're whatever. We're Indian. We have to have our naan. I won't eat it, but I have to make it. No. They're big enough and they're probably fat enough or diabetic enough or normal enough that they can make it for themselves. You do not have to facilitate that for them. They are hostiles. They are not part of your tribe, and you don't cook for people that are not part of your ketogenic tribe. And I know that's tough. I know you're going to come up with, well, this and that. You know what? If you've got every excuse in the book, because you're not cooking that rice for them, you're not buying that ice cream for them, you don't have the goldfish in the house for them, you have it there for you. You bought that for yourself. They don't need it. They want it, they can get it out. And even for young kids, oh, my children need those treats. You know what? Take them out. For years after soccer practice on a Tuesday evening, I would take my daughter to Dairy Queen to have an ice cream. The rule was that I wasn't allowed to have any, and she violently protected her right to the ice cream by not letting me come near it. I got to spend father-daughter time. She got to have her ice cream. But the caveat to that is we never had ice cream in the house. So that's the trade-off. But establish your tribe, establish your clan. Not for good days, but for the bad days, for the support. And the support is not only about what you are eating and what you're not eating. It is also about what you're doing. If you're struggling, hire a trainer to work with you in the gym if you don't go to the gym regularly, but you want to, and you can. Have a walking partner. Have a painting partner. And if you decide you need therapy, your therapist is there as an empathetic human connection. You trust them. You trust their integrity, but you have to vomit out all your shit in front of them. Because if you keep that shit inside, the therapy has no value. And eventually you'll replace the therapist as your self-esteem and self-confidence grows. You'll be able to replace that therapist with friends and family. Because it's not about the person. It's about you being able to take the risk of being vulnerable. And what I tell my patients is this: every time you've done a little vulnerable thing, just look up and make sure the sky hasn't fallen on your head. But if you've exposed who you are, they can't hurt you. They can try. They can try. But then they're an arsehole. If you keep things inside, that becomes an object for other people to hurt you with. And if you try to hide the fact that you're on a ketogenic diet, they're going to punish you by offering you crap. Create your tribe. Create your support system. And if Jane can be part of that, text her 561-517-0642. And let's see if we can be part of your success. But empathetic human connection is crucial to successful, diverse, effort-based emotion management, to replace carbohydrates as a dysfunctional emotional management system. I hope this resonates. Leave a comment. If you like our content, throw us $1 or $2 at our Patreon account, CarbAddictionDoc, or robert@jackschildren.com. That's our PayPal account. Throw us a few dollars. That helps these videos to be kept free and allows us to be educational in a free way. I hope this resonates. We'll see you next time.